B-133 managed to make it home to Murmansk after another successful mission. Upon my arrival, I was shocked to find that I've once again been promoted. I was now Capitan 2nd rank. Along with my promotion, I would receive command of a new submarine. Still not wanting me anywhere near a reactor, my superiors put me in command of a more modern diesel-electric. B-303 would be my next submarine, Project 641B. NATO refers to this submarine as Tango class. Although, that's not exactly what I wanted, the Tango is a massive improvement over the Foxtrot class of submarines. For starters, it has a significantly improved battery capacity. Additionally, the sonar was linked directly to the torpedo firing control system, giving us much quicker firing solutions. The sonar overall is a great improvement. Only 18 of these submarines were built from the years 1973 to 1982. Project 877, NATO reporting name Kilo, was such an improvement that production on Tango-class submarines was halted. My first mission in B-303 was to break out into the North Atlantic and conduct a combat patrol. We are to hunt for priority NATO targets, such as troop convoys and surface battle groups. Who knows, maybe we will get our hands on an aircraft carrier. Unfortunately, en route to the patrol area, we were intercepted by a NATO submarine in the Norwegian Sea. Time to put this new boat to the test. Hello everybody, Wolfpack here, and welcome to our 1984 USSR campaign in Cold Waters. As you can see, we are now in command of B-303, a Tango-class submarine, and we have been intercepted by a NATO submarine in the Norwegian Sea. Let's go ahead and bring up the map. As you can see, we have Sierra 1, which is a trawler. She is actually just right up here, very close to us. Little Norwegian trawler up here, not a threat, but we just established contact on Sierra 2 over here, which certainly seems like a threat. We have dropped down below this moderate layer, and that allowed us to pick her up. Let's go ahead and flip through and see what she is. An Oberon identified, and we are in her baffles apparently. Let's change course. Now the Tango is quite a bit of an upgrade from the Foxtrot we were operating in previously. For one, our sonar is significantly better. That's just really why the bow is shaped the way it is. This is the same sonar that's fit on Alpha class submarines, Charlie 2s, and the like. And wow, we really are in her baffles. How far away is she? They're saying she's 10 kilometers away. Let's increase speed to 8 knots. Looks like she is heading east, more or less. So let's go ahead and mark it as such just so we don't forget. By the way, this is shift and left click to place these markers. I've seen that asked quite a bit in the comments. Additionally, let's go through the new torpedoes we have in the Tango because they're pretty much all different. For one, we have the Test 71M, which is a wire-guided torpedo. I am carrying 6 of these, and these will be mostly used for taking out enemy submarines. We only have 1 wire, however, as you can see, so that is why I only have 1 Test 71 loaded in tube number 1. Secondly, we have USET 80s, which are a vast improvement over the Set 65 torpedo, which we have been using. Additionally, they are dual purpose, and we did lose contact. We lost contact right there. That's fine. But they also have wake-homing capabilities, so they can be used against surface ships, so that is going to be very useful, especially when we go up against NATO battle groups. And then the last couple of torpedoes here we all know and love, the 5365K torpedoes. These are our anti-surface wake-homing torpedoes that we've been using. And then our MG74s, these are our decoys, and I have one of those loaded in tube number 6 there. Also, the Tango only has 6 bow tubes. They did away with the stern torpedo tubes. Let's see what we are working with here, though. Let's go ahead and drop down to around 200 meters, shall we? And we're going to try to close this gap. Let's increase speed to... Oh, let's go flank for a little bit. The top submerged speed of the Tango is 15 knots, so nothing to really write home about. Additionally, our surface speed is actually slower. It's 13 knots. So we've been working with these slower boats the whole series. It shouldn't be too much of an issue here. And did we reestablish contact? No, we did not. Additionally, our max depth is 300 meters. Once again, very similar to the Foxtrot. It keeps flipping back to that. I don't know why. But anyway, that is that for the Tango. We are going to close in on our target, and hopefully we can catch her by surprise in her baffles. Alright, quite a bit of time has passed. We are going to rig for ultra quiet, cut our engines, and listen. Let's see where our friend is. Hopefully we can reacquire her relatively quickly. Of course we could go active to pick her up immediately, but that kind of defeats the purpose now, doesn't it? It is possible during our sprint she did pick us up. Now we just wait and see if we will be able to pick her up once again. Here's hoping. There we go. Reestablish contact. Good. And apparently she's way out there. We'll let that solution build. It's already at 13%. Use some time compression. 10 kilometers out. Okay, and we are no longer in her baffles. Well, that definitely makes things a little tricky here. Okay, what's our range to target? So, only 5 kilometers away. Okay, it looks like she is turning to starboard by the looks of things. She may resume her original northeastern course. Now let's change course. New heading 032. Tube 1 is on the port side of our boat. So let's kind of face our port side away from her to mask our launch. I'm thinking we'll launch now. Range is 5 kilometers. Her speed's 8 knots and dropping. She can't hear us unless she goes active. Now if she hears the launch though, that's problematic. We'll see if she actually picks that up. We'll have this go active. And hopefully we maintain the wire here. That is what is most important. First time using a wire-guided torpedo in this series. How exciting. Okay, let's use some more time compression. I'm also hoping we'll start encountering less NATO diesel electrics. I know the mod developers don't have you... Well, let's wait and see. It looks like she is turning. I know the mod developers don't really have you going up against, you know, narwhals and permits and all that good stuff when you're in, like, a whiskey. Although we did do it. We did have a mission where we went up against them, which was honestly one of the most memorable moments I've ever had in cold waters. I kind of wish we went up against more of the scary NATO boats, honestly. I know balancing and all that good stuff, but I'm not playing the, you know, in whiskeys and tangos for balance. I want pain. Oh man. Also, I apologize, this video is a little late. I've been pretty under the weather recently. Okay, well we are going to sprint and try to maneuver into her baffles again. And yeah. We'll fire here. Let's move up to 8 knots. She can barely hear us, but we're almost in her baffles. Alrighty, here we go. In her baffles. Let's reduce speed to 3 knots. We want to avoid wire break. Not sure how tough this wire is. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty strong. Okay, let's shoot straight out. Tube 1 away, we have the wire. Good. We'll have it swim out on this heading, more or less, and then we'll dogleg it north towards the target. We'll have it use active sonar, and it should be able to pick her up relatively easily. Perfect. Hopefully we have enough fuel for this. Oh yeah, we definitely do. Oh yeah, this torpedo has pretty good legs overall. Yeah, more than enough. Let's have it start slowly turning towards Sierra 2. And we're just going to hang out back here. Well, our torpedo's getting nice and close, and it looks like Sierra 2 is none the wiser. Looking good overall. We are still just maintaining this course at a speed of 3 knots. We can see our screws just barely turning. I love the shrouded propellers. I think that's pretty cool looking. Overall, though, I got to admit, not an aesthetically pleasing boat, but that adds to its charm. Let's use some time compression here. And I really want this torpedo to activate at the very last second. I want minimal warning here. I don't want to give Sierra 2 the chance to counterfire. That's definitely part of it. But it looks like this is going to be our first kill in B303. And see her wiggling about there. To just... looking pretty good overall. I don't believe there's a second contact out here either, just a lone diesel electric. Also on the campaign map, we were being swarmed by NATO subs, so we are probably going to have another engagement right after this. Okay, range to target. Oh, we're getting pretty close. 0.2 kilometers. All right. Activate. Acquired. When active, launched a tigerfish, but too little too late. Well, there we go. And there's our first successful kill in B303. Let's go ahead and change course and head out this way. We did see Sierra 2 counter-fired with a tigerfish. I'm not really worried about that, but we still should just move out of the way just in case. Just in case. So let's make turns for 15 knots and head out to the west until we are clear from the area. And as expected, the tigerfish was not a threat. We are now clear to leave the combat area. One vessel sunk. Continue on. Not our mission target. I am aware. Continue, and okay, it looks like the other NATO subs are moving out, so we are going to cross the SOSIS line and break out into the North Atlantic, hopefully where we will find some NATO battle groups to attack. Uh-oh, and I don't like that coming our way. Let's try to evade that. And yep, we're going to break out into the North Atlantic and hopefully find a NATO battle group. Well, this is a pretty good case of be careful what you wish for. We were patrolling off the western approaches and we were intercepted by a NATO submarine. And we can see it is in fact a skipjack class, so that is quite intimidating. We are going to attempt to sink it. We also have Sierra 2 out here, which is just a trawler. Not too concerned about that. We are currently dropping down to 300 meters. We want to get nice and close because the skipjack is a very fast boat. She is currently 8 kilometers away. And yeah, I'd like to maneuver into her baffles and see what we can do here. She apparently has a towed array, which is problematic for sure. And she is operating, oh, it looks like, what's her depth? Oh, very similar to us. She's at around 120 meters. Okay, very interesting all around. If she goes active, we are obviously detected. This will be a good test for our Test 71 torpedoes, once again. But the plan is to go deep and make turns for around 8 knots, try to close this gap as much as we can. Uh-oh, this isn't good. The skipjack suddenly came down to 5 knots. It can definitely hear us. Let's work for ultra quiet, cut everything. Oh my gosh, what the hell? Why is she on the surface? That's very strange. Don't know why she would do that. But I'm not really going to complain about it. Kind of wish I had some anti-surface missiles. Okay, let's go back to 3 knots and try to close in. That is odd. That is odd. Well, we'll let her do her thing. I'm not really complaining. It's interesting seeing the skipjack on the surface like this. It's kind of cool, but why she's on the surface now, Lord knows. So this is the situation we're working with here. The target is 5.5 kilometers away, and she is putting distance between us and her. Let's come up to 168 meters. And I think for this, we are going to use a USSR torpedo, mainly because of how fast it is. It moves 48 knots, so that will definitely be able to catch the skipjack. Range is 18 kilometers, so I don't think she's going to be able to outrun that. Opposed to the Test 71, the range is, well, the torpedo's slower, and its range is only 15 kilometers at 40 knots. So the problem is, I know the skipjack's going to use its speed to try to get away, which is understandable. That's exactly what I would do in her position. We're going to come up and match her depth before we fire. She can barely... Oh, we're actually in her baffles, apparently. Let's increase speed then and make this snappy. Actually, yeah, let's make our ascent a little quicker. Pull up on the planes, come on. Just want to match depth. Want to give our torpedo the highest chance of actually acquiring the target. We have it set up with a zigzag search. Glad we're in the skipjack's baffles. Okay, let's check here. Alright, this should be sufficient. Level out. Let's get ready to fire. We're gonna just fire right at her. Something like here, and then the torpedo will activate. I think that should be fine. Thankfully, I don't think she'll be able to hear the launch. And she may have... I guess she has her towed array retracted or something. Not my problem. She is obviously submerged. Once again, just a little update. She has submerged, so maybe she had some technical difficulties, some damage she needed to work on. Who knows? Anyway, all right. Looks like we're shooting tube 4. Tube 4 way. There we go. Tube 4 way. And that is our first USSR launch. Let's go ahead and load another. I could follow up with the Test 71. Let's see how this one torpedo does. Honestly, should I send 2? I'm kind of thinking of sending 2. All right, Test 71, launch straight ahead. All right, we'll do 2 torpedoes. We'll dogleg our Test 71. We'll have it run this way and then cut east towards the skipjack. While our torpedoes are running out, we are going to drop down to 300 meters. Okay, I'm feeling okay about this whole situation. I'm honestly not too confident with our Test 71, but this USSR just booking it at 48 knots, I feel pretty good about that catching the skipjack. Alright, this is where the fun begins. It looks like our USSR has acquired immediately. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank goodness. Finally, some good torpedoes. Okay, and it is homing in on the target, 0.5 kilometers away. countermeasures are throwing it off. Let's have our Test 71 head this way. And it looks like, I don't believe the skipjack has counterfire just yet. Just yet. I guarantee you she will, though. We'll have to put up with those Mark 48s. Oh my gosh. Our torpedo is definitely being thrown off by the countermeasure. That's kind of why I decided to launch a Test 71. We'll have it stay running slow towards the area for the time being. Just so it can kind of surprise the skipjack. Also, that way we can save the fuel on the Test 71. But we'll see how our USET-80 fares here. And it looks like the skipjack's rocketing towards the surface. Is she going to try to surface again? No, it doesn't look like it. Alright, our Test 71's getting nice and close. I think it's time to activate it. It has acquired. Perfect. Now she has 2 torpedoes to deal with. Our Test 71 will start moving relatively quick, and it looks like it has around 8 minutes of fuel, so good. Should be more than enough to actually sink the skipjack. Yeah, I was hesitant to launch 2 torpedoes, mainly because of just what we have in stores. We do need to remember we have an objective 2 complete here. Also, this only leaves us with 4 Test 71s and 5 USET-80s. But 8 53 65K torpedoes, which will primarily be used against, well, which will only be used against the mission objective, so there is that. Things are looking pretty good here, though. Closing in on the skipjack, and we can adjust our wire-guided torpedoes since we have a 95% solution on the skipjack on the home ship. Looking good. Weapons acquired. I think she's done for here. This is it. Awesome. Our first SSN sunk in a while. I believe, was it our second? It may have been our second episode. It was right at the beginning in the whiskey where we went up against a permit and everything. And that was, I believe it was a permit. Maybe it was a sturgeon. Whatever. It was definitely one of the most memorable dodging Mark 48s. Weapons acquired. This is it. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's just do it. Look at that. Right underneath her. We need to swing this torpedo around so it can reacquire. Have it come around. And our USET-80 is kind of thrown off back here, dealing with all of the countermeasures. There we go. Test 71 has acquired. Homing in. Looking good. Impact. Well, folks, that is going to do it for today's episode. I do hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and comment, as it really does help out the channel. But until next time, this is Wolfpack345 signing off, and I will see you all on the next one.